The Rickey, Smiley morning show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, Rickey, Smiley morning show. We got a big day tomorrow. Election day is tomorrow, and one of the most watched races in the country is between Stacey Abrams and current Governor Brian Kemp in Georgia. So, and on the line right now, we have the founder of the Fair Fight Movement, author, lawyer, Spelman graduate, and Democratic candidate for governor in Georgia. Y'all please, Governor of Georgia, y'all give it up and show your love right now for Stacey Abrams. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, thank you so much for coming on. And listen, I'm so excited to have you. Election day is tomorrow. First of all, good morning. Welcome to the show. We just so excited to have you on. Everybody was just like, when we looked on the thing and saw that you was on, we were like, oh, yeah, here we go. So how do you feel about this historic early voting numbers? And do you feel like that has been a part of the fair fight, impact?
I am excited about it. I'm enthusiastic, and I think we're going to win because they were counting us out. We were seeing all these stories about a lack of black enthusiasm. Black men didn't care. Black men have outperformed every other demographic in early voting. They've even outperformed black women as a percentage of their turnout from 18. We know that our communities want to be heard, and the polls are a snapshot. The question is, who have they been taking a picture of? Because it's not the people I'm seeing at the polls. And we know that the only poll that matters is the one at the voting booth. So I'm excited about what we're seeing, but I know we've got to keep up the momentum. The other thing they're saying is that we're going to not show up tomorrow, that we did early voting, so we're going to stay home, which is not the case. This is the first time Democrats have actually come this close to winning early voting, but we cannot slow down. We have opportunities to solve so many problems, and this isn't far off. This is January. What I can do as governor in January, I can tackle affordable housing. I can expand Medicaid and get people health care. We're not talking 4 years. We're talking 4 weeks, 6 weeks. That's what we need.
Yeah, that is so powerful. And you talked about early voting, and we're seeing record numbers. People are really fired up about it, and we don't want folks to slow down and think that they don't need to show up tomorrow. And we know about what's happening in Georgia, but can you talk about the national implications of these midterm elections?
Absolutely. So Raphael Warnock is on the ballot with me. He's the top of the ticket. We need to hold the Senate. If we want Vice President Kamala Harris to continue to be able to issue those deciding votes that got us Ketanji Brown, but also got us billions of dollars for health care, for education, that matters. Governors matter. The reason this race matters so much is that Clarence Thomas has told us he's coming after the Voting Rights Act. He's coming after affirmative action. He's coming after all of the things that states will now be responsible for. And we've already seen what happened with women. Their willingness to strip women of their right to choose means that if you're a black woman, 56% of black people live between Tennessee and Florida, Texas and North Carolina. Almost none of those states have reproductive health care anymore, which means if you're a black woman, we're already in the region of the country with the highest likelihood of women dying from childbirth, and black women are 3 times more likely to die. Unless I'm the governor, there is no reproductive care for black women south of Tennessee.
Wow.
Wow. Well, let me just speak it into existence, Governor Abrams. After the presidential elections were over in 2020, Republicans got together and changed voting districts all over the country. How and will that affect tomorrow's election outcome?
Well, Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger have been manipulating the laws, and we're seeing it. Cobb County, 1,000 voters did not get their ballots. These might be students. These might be elderly folks. They did not get their ballots because Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger changed the rules because too many black and brown people used absentee ballots during COVID. They changed the rules to let 65,000 people have their right to vote challenged, including a homeless woman who was sleeping in her car. And she got there to vote because she wants to be able to have access to affordable housing. They told her she couldn't vote, even though that's against the law. That's who these men are. They do not care about our voting rights. They don't care about our bodily rights. They don't even care about our safety. Brian Kemp weakened gun laws to win a primary. And we know that the people most likely to get shot in Georgia are black people. And this is true across the country. But what I want people to hear nationally is that governors set the tone, and good governors can set the future.
Right. Absolutely.
I hear you. Well, keeping along those positive vibes that Brad put out there, Governor Abrams, if people run into issues while trying to vote at the polls, who should they contact?
Please contact the Georgia Voter Protection Hotline, 888-730-5816. You've got your phone with you. That means you also have the internet. So just go to StaceyAbrams.com/vote, and you can get all the information you need. You can text us. But the thing to remember in Georgia is that one of the voter suppression rules they put in place is that if you are in the right county but the wrong location, you can no longer vote a provisional ballot before 5 p.m. So make sure you check your precinct before you go, because you can stand in line for 3.5 hours. And if you get to the end of the line, they're like, you're in the wrong place. You got to start all over again, unless it's 5 o'clock or later. So please get to the right place at the right time. But once you're in line, stay in line. You can vote. If you're in line by 7 p.m., you can cast your ballot. But we know that you guys have had me on the show before. I have energy, but I'm not usually this excited. I've seen the numbers.
Stacey, that's what I was about. I was just, you took the words right out of me. I was just about to ask you, what's the difference this time compared to this time and last time, in the energy that you feel, with the numbers that you've seen, with the changes that have been made, with everything that has taken place over, since the last election? What are you seeing?
So 4 years ago, I was brand new, and there was an excitement because there was history that could be made. But it was also the first time that Georgia was taken seriously as a state that could elect a Democrat. I may not have gotten across the finish line, but we sent Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Raphael Warnock, and John Ossoff. So we've had a pretty good streak. And while we have undergone a pandemic, and the energy is different because we've gone through a pandemic, economic pain, racial violence, but people still know that they need the basics. They need investment in education. We need to expand Medicaid in Georgia so people get health care. They know that we need affordable housing, and the governor has said he's not going to do anything about it. In fact, he shut down the portal that would give them access to rental assistance on rent day. He shut down a hospital on November 1st. Yes, this is who this man is. But what is different is that we know we can win now, but we have to believe our own truth instead of the lies they tell us. I know we can win because I've seen the numbers, but I've also seen the energy on the ground, and I've seen the reality of what happens. I was guessing about what he would do 4 years ago. Now we know, but we also know what I will do. In the last 4 years, I paid off the medical debts of 68,000 people in Georgia. I put 180 Wi-Fi devices in rural communities so they could get on the internet during COVID when the governor was doing nothing. I helped poor people, especially black folks in South Georgia, get vaccines when he said they weren't motivated to take care of themselves. I'm always going to lead with the values my parents raised me with: faith, service, and education. And I want to be able to do that for the entire state of Georgia, and through that for the entire South.
Well, I just want to say, personally, thank you for coming on, and thank you for all of the work that you've done. Thank you for for being you, getting people excited and motivated in the things that you're teaching. I follow you on Instagram. I share your videos. Let everybody know how they can follow you.
So it's at Stacey Abrams, StaceyAbrams. If you haven't seen my name, it is not for lack of trying. Stacey Abrams. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, as long as Twitter exists. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm on. If there's a platform, we're there because we want to meet people where they are. I want us to win because we deserve more. We deserve more money in our pockets, more opportunity in our communities and our businesses, and we deserve more freedom in our lives. And it's going to be governors who make those decisions. And I want to be the first Black woman in America to be a governor so I can make sure that our communities get what we need.
Hey, I want everybody, y'all heard it. Y'all get out and vote. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all please give it up for the one and only Stacey Abrams. Thank you so much.